Oh my god. Fucking hell.
We're recording, Jay.
We are now.
People don't know.
People don't know this what we've gone through.
What time did we sit down?
I am sat down now.
An hour. An hour ago.
Now I'm sitting down.
This is what happens when you not only bring the wives on, but we go from... This was what happened when we went from 2 guests to 3, and then 3 guests to 4.
It's the pressure, I think.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Because me and Carla sat here watching you, and you obviously want to perform.
Yeah, I felt under pressure.
Yeah, you looked under pressure.
I felt under pressure.
And
I was
you
working hard.
You failed.
I did a thing.
You didn't do anything.
Oh, right. Episode number 10 of the Beautiful Struggle podcast.
That was a struggle.
Definitely been a struggle today. I didn't think we'd make it to 10. We might not make it past 10.
No, I think that if we can't have any more technical issues bigger than that, sure, that was a
bad one.
That was a biggie.
The cameras were fine. It was the audio today, because as you may have seen, we've got an extra mic in the room.
Yeah.
So I thought we'll upgrade some sort of like podcast controller thing, and it's not working. So
Basically, what you've been doing, Jay, is you've been trying to delay this as long as possible because you know you're going to get slated or slaughtered. Which one?
I plan to spend this time singing Sweet Nothings in her ear by the time we get on air.
Yeah.
So there would be smooth sailing, but obviously not.
The love songs were in the car on the way down here.
What shadow playlist on?
Yeah.
3 hours of Dermot Kennedy.
We didn't, because we had some bodybuilding podcast on.
Perfect.
I'm surprised you let him listen to it.
Oh.
I would have been.
Yeah, I'd not have advocated. She'd be
She
like,
had
no,
choice.
no.
No.
Need
Yeah.
one of them Men in Black things where you just go,
Yeah.
that's it, memory wipe. That'd be best.
You
They could
wished
come
it
in
was
handy.
on like that for your women, didn't you?
Oh.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god.
What did
Good
you do
job,
last
Andy.
night? Memory wipe.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It'd be
Anyway.
fantastic for you.
I'll let you intro the 10th episode properly, Jay. It seems that was a bit of a
I'm still waiting for
roundabout.
my heart rate to come down. Yeah, episode 10. So it's a bit of a milestone episode. So thank you to everyone that has been tuning in, supporting the podcast thus far. The Cuba episode has done incredibly well. So thank you to everyone that's been watching and listening. So with milestones, it's like an anniversary thing, isn't it? When you hit like a milestone.
You got to do something big, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got to make an
Well,
impact.
We got to go in with something that marks the occasion. So,
Yeah.
anniversaries normally come in relationships, so we thought we'd get the better halves on.
Yeah, this is our diamond anniversary 10th podcast.
Every strong man has a stronger woman behind them.
That's it. Get the confidence in quick.
Every struggle has some beauty behind it. Every kitchen sink has a woman in front of it doing the dishes.
Oh,
So
no,
relax.
James, go on then.
Relax.
You're looking very gorgeous, girls, by the way, sat on your separate sofa.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Beautiful
Thank
Struggle
you.
podcast.
It's
My
good
love.
to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Are you ready for us?
Yeah, I'm going to let you take the
Question.
reins for a bit because I am sweating.
Jay's sweating because he's nervous and he's a bit flustered the past hour trying to sort this audio out.
Yeah.
We're
We've
here.
just been sat here watching him, to be
Yeah.
fair.
We're live. I'm worrying about going to the toilet because we've been sat here longer. I know I'm going to need a wee at some point, but we'll come across that bridge
We'll deal
when
with it.
we arrive to it.
As we do.
We thought this would be a great podcast because there's many a bodybuilder or fitness enthusiast in a relationship with their other half, be it male or female, or otherwise something different, whatever you want to say these days. I don't think you can say the right or the wrong thing. But anyway, relationships within bodybuilding and fitness, particularly when you take it to a certain level where you compete and it's serious stuff. We want this podcast out there to probably let people know they're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Give people the inside scoop and honesty of the other halves because they go through it with you if you're the one doing
Not too honest.
the competition, the competing, the lifestyle. I get messages quite regular, to be fair, asking how you manage a relationship whilst you're competing. And even clients will say, my girlfriend doesn't like to go to the gym so much and she wants me to be able to eat meals out, blah, blah, blah. And it is a lifestyle, isn't it? It comes with some sacrifices and some limitations.
Yeah. And a lot of support from the other half. And it's not just with the bodybuilding lifestyle, because obviously I've lived a whole another life with the DJing.
Yeah.
And I think that came with as much sacrifice and support that this endeavour comes with.
Well, that's going to be interesting because me and Katie met, and I was a bodybuilder at the time, wasn't I?
You was, yeah, but I didn't know anything about the bodybuilding
No.
world.
Well, you did, but
To a degree, nothing
on a very amateur level.
Yeah, to what was going to be.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
what I'm trying to
rest
say
of
is,
my life.
what I'm trying to say is, she went out with people who trained before me, but she'd never met someone as
Who was-
brilliant and as
It was a serious bodybuilder.
So she
Yeah.
went
There
with
is a
weekend
difference.
warriors.
just weekend warriors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask Carla first to explain how she met Jay and how long they've been together, and to give us a rundown of your relationship.
Yeah, go for it.
And we could do probably the same with my wife, and we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep it as short as I can. But when I was 20, I had a baby. So I had a little boy called Cameron, and I was living with my mum at the time, single parent, working, and I just wanted to earn a little bit extra money for myself. So I went to work in a local club in town. I knew the owner, I'd worked for him before. And I came across Jamie, who was a
Jamie?
DJ.
Who's Jamie?
It sounds strange.
Who's
if you say
Jamie?
Jamie.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
It's my government
Yeah,
name.
Jamie.
Jamie Magic Eye.
I can't call him Jamie, sorry.
No.
So I come across Jamie, he was a DJ there, and to be honest, I thought he was from maybe Cardiff. I mean, I knew everyone in our town, I'd never seen him before in my life.
Yeah.
And I was going to work one day, and he came out of a local garage as I was going in, and I was like, oh, what's he doing here at 8 o'clock in the morning? And we just said hello. And then I seen him out then about 2 weeks later in town, and I was with my friends,
Yeah.
and Jamie was with his friends, and he was actually on the dance floor spinning on his head. So I kind of told my friends about this guy.
Peacock.
And he had his like basketball vest on and his baggy trousers or jeans. He had sweatbands going on, and my friends were like,
Proper.
okay, Carl, this isn't your normal type. And I was like, I know, but there's something about him. I really like him.
Yeah.
And we ended up just like walking home together that night. He couldn't wait to show me his flash car, which wasn't very flash.
It was a Honda Civic
Yeah.
Mark II Type R imported from Japan.
Fantastic. Was that the one with the gear stick in the middle?
It was the model before
Ah,
that.
right, okay.
Yeah, it was like not the really popular one. It was
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
before that. It was a bad boy.
Nice.
And then from that point on, we just kind of like ended up seeing each other probably every day, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
It took some time for us to like tell our parents. As you can imagine, Jamie was 19,
No, a little bit older.
20.
Yeah, I just turned, no, just literally a week before, I think, or the week after.
Yeah.
we met.
I was like 2 years older than him. I had a little 2-year-old boy.
Yeah.
So I think he was afraid to tell his mum for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was all good. And we ended up being together from
For
then on in. And we've been
40
together
years.
19 years this May.
19 years in
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's
rest
amazing.
is history, as they say, you know?
That is amazing though, 19 years.
Yeah, no,
together,
it's
Yeah.
we talked about it on the way up.
It's
It's
incredible.
gone quick as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exactly half my life I've been with her.
It doesn't. Does it feel like that long to you?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Only when we
to me.
look back and like think of like
Like it's
everything
like
else
another
we've
life,
done.
isn't it?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
another life.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
another life. It's only when we sit down and we think and look back and it's like, shit, we've been through all this together. Like I said, it's literally half my life now.
Yeah.
And you have a child together.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we've got
Yeah,
Sienna
Sienna
as well.
was 14 in
14 now. Wow.
3 weeks, 2
Mhm.
weeks.
Yeah.
And Cam's 21 on
And Cam's
Monday.
21
Wow.
on Monday.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
mad, isn't it?
That's why there's a bit of silver fox going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
the
not
same.
as much as Jay's flipping next.
I-
Proper growth
yes.
I
through.
dye mine
Yeah.
every 2 weeks just to prep.
On the
so
beard
it is
as
what it
well.
is.
Mate, I need to get your regime, Jay.
You need something because you've got like a little grey tough bit.
Yeah, it's like a Wolverine tuft of grey in
Yeah.
my beard.
I like the like salt and pepper look though. I
Yeah.
Mm.
If you've got enough going on, but if you haven't got, if you've got a sprinkle, it just looks terrible. So that's why
Right,
just
yes.
when it comes out to
Like
be
an old sprout.
Sprinkle.
sprinkle of salt and pepper.
So that's some time. So you would have transitioned through many different jobs and hobbies. And
Yes.
Mm.
when into the ratio did you notice Jay started taking bodybuilding more seriously?
He always went to the gym, played basketball, and it was when he was approaching his 30th birthday, he wanted to do a transformation.
Yeah.
And that's when it got quite serious, I think. So it's been like 9 years now.
Yeah.
And I just thought he's just going to do it for 1 year and then he's just going to go back to basketball or perhaps just having a rest of everything, but he didn't. He just got more serious every year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been our lifestyle, and to be honest, it's not too bad for me because I'm not someone that wants to go out all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It frustrates me when I met him, he DJ'd for a number of years. So every weekend, it was Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes. So if it was family occasions going on or friends going out in couples, I was always there on my own.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's where I am now, 19 years later.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, you know.
I don't mean that in a bad way, but that's
full circle.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am now. You know, we kind of give up the DJ, and I was like, right, great, I'm going on weekends.
Yeah.
I still keep my weekends pretty free as I can.
But we don't, we can't go out for meals at the moment. Or, my friends are right on the group, let's go to concert in Cardiff Castle in May.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't come, girls.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just come on your own, Carl. Which I would go on my own. And then I feel bad because he's left in the house. It's just finding that balance. But I have said to him this year, I'm happy for him to do his competition and his prep, but I'm also going to live my life as well.
Yeah.
So I'm actually in Portugal, I think, a week before his competition.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Because I know how stressful it gets a few weeks before, so I'll be going.
Yeah, it's such a great plan.
Yeah.
Like
Go with
competing. But honestly, like, I think, like, the weeks leading up to, the big kind of competition, your kind of end goal.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant, is it? It's not.
Nice.
You don't want to be around it, and then especially for the kids as well, because I feel like you're all treading on eggshells.
Yeah.
And you don't want to. In fact, I would love it if you could, where we are now, set this up into like a little mini apartment for yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to, compete, you can just come down here and live down here, and I live in the main house.
It's a studio as well. Yeah, we need to be careful with that one. Don't get too many ideas.
That's a good idea. I think I said to
move out for the last month or so.
I said that to you this week tonight. I said just go tonight and come back in August.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, that'd be ideal.
I think we've noticed, haven't we? We've obviously done a lot of preps together, and we've got to that point where we realised that in the last 5 or 6 weeks, I'm very vacant, and it's like, is there any worth you being here or not? It's a lot easier if we're away from each other, not in like a we don't love each other sense, but it's just like you say, I'm conscious that the kids and Katie and the dogs are treading on eggshells, so I'm not really fully de-stressed. It's like a pressure cooker, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I think the last few years we have actually spent time apart in the last stages of the preps, haven't we? Especially last year, I was like travelling a lot, competing, and I think you was loving it back home.
Yeah.
There's actually one point where I come home and she was like, I'm just not ready for you to come back.
You was gone for nearly 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you are with a bodybuilder, they are constantly cooking in the kitchen. So Jamie cooks, and he's a messy cook. He's not so bad now, you've got better.
We've got a bigger kitchen now.
But you look and the sink is just always full of pots because he's cooking every 2 to 3 hours. And the clothes are everywhere, and his trainers are everywhere, and his hats are everywhere, and all you do is you just feel like you're constantly picking up after them. After you, I'm constantly picking up after you. And I think when you went away, it's just me and Ella, and it's just bliss because I know the house is tidy, I know it's my mess, and you don't feel like you're treading on eggshells, you just can watch what you want on TV, and you've got the bed to yourself. Well, that's the bonus thing, isn't it?
I bet you get a lot more room in that bed when he's not there.
You know what? He's like the thing is though, I don't know about Jay, but he's like a radiator in bed.
Yeah.
We have the fan on. We never have the radiator on, even like when it's freezing, like now. All the months of the year, like it's cold in our room, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when with you in bed, it's you're like a flipping fire.
It's toasty under the sheets.
In fact, you were sweating last night.
It was.
Hot like
I think
fire.
I could smell you.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah.
I think it's the weekend. If I go in on the food, I sweat.
Comes out your pores.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smell like a lasagna.
Yeah, you do. It always smell like beef.
I don't know why. Yeah, beef comes out the pores. Before we get into the nitty gritty, I want obviously to allow you, my wife, to give you a kind of little intro into how we met, and then we can ask some serious questions.
As you talk, I'm just going to check the cameras because I don't want these stressing me out this time. But you go for it, and I will be listening.
So we will be together 11 years in May.
Yeah.
Married 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we met through Facebook.
Well, no, married 9.
Married 9.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be 10 next year.
Yeah.
10 when I'm 14.
2 years apart then.
Yeah. So we met on Facebook.
Yes.
And I asked you out on Facebook.
You did, yeah. They were the days. They were the days.
But Facebook is not. It wasn't back then. It's not always like now.
No.
It's like I don't know.
It was still for young people back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Well, it worked before Instagram as well.
It's like Tinder, is it?
Oh
Well,
no,
Tinder, that's what I'm
Facebook's
saying,
not like Tinder now, is it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone's
they got
sliding into each
Facebook?
other's DMs.
No, that's more Instagram, isn't it? Like DMs.
The DM.
Slide.
Well, I'm not
I
sure.
don't know. I think
I've been out of the
Facebook's
game a
same.
while, so I don't get.
If you're single,
Yeah.
And I get a lot of clients come to me, so they tell me the stories.
I think they might have Facebook dating now, though. I'm sure that's
Same.
happening.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think my opening line was asking you questions about supplements or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I was sponsored by a Nottingham-based
NRG.
company at the time, and
Yeah.
Katie had NRG supplements in the past. So that was her.
Well,
what
I
is it?
didn't.
Segue or
I didn't. It
Sedgeway?
was just my opening line.
Segway. Segway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I dropped you a message, but oh god, what did you say? Yeah, I think you just like pied me off because you were saying you was competing, but I didn't know I didn't know what it was. And I think in the end you was telling me that you was deprived, you couldn't have this, and I think I said, well, what about a black coffee? That's what I said.
Yeah.
And you was just like, no,
Not even a black coffee.
not even a black coffee.
No,
but,
because I wasn't ready to kind of get to know somebody.
well, I didn't know how flipping
Yeah.
anal you were about it. Like when you're in the zone, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
But we did exchange numbers.
Yes.
You told me you was a fireman, and
Pics came after.
pics, yeah. But when I messaged you, it took you so long to reply, like hours. Hours. Like
Hashtag
4,
Nothing
5
changes there.
hours.
Hashtag at the gym.
No, you used to tell me it's because you're on shift.
Maybe.
On shift in the gym.
I
Probably
think-
multiple reasons.
I just think you were bullshitting. I had about 5 on one.
He's on job.
Chatting to 5.
Hashtag on job.
You know what I mean? Player.
I definitely wasn't playing 6 weeks out.
No.
This 6 weeks
Well, I
out from
didn't know
body
that, did I?
power.
'Cause I didn't know much about bodybuilding.
No.
But yeah, it used to take ages to reply, and I just thought, you know what, I can't be arsed with this.
Yeah.
So I just left it. And then when you competed, it was May, I think. Was it May?
Yeah, May 2012.
May 2012 you competed, and you messaged me and you said, I've won my competition, I would love to take you on that date now. And yeah, we went to Nando's. It was our first date in Nando's in Derby.
Yeah.
And I met him, and he was stood leaning on a pole. It was bright orange
Not a Polish
because
person.
he's just competed.
An actual Pole.
And
Is
you
that
had,
racist? That's not racist. Is it? I didn't mean
It's just fine.
it. Hey, carry on.
Yeah, you was orange anyway, and tall and really tanned, and you had your mum's fake Louis
It
Vuitton
wasn't
handbag.
actually my mum's, it was mine.
You told me it was your mum's.
It was mine.
Why did you tell me it was your mum's?
I don't know, I did I?
Yeah, you did. You went,
I had a
"Oh, it's
Louis
your mum's."
Vuitton man bag that was from like Turkey or somewhere,
Yeah,
with my sailor striped vest on, and yeah, it was orange.
yeah.
So
And I can just remember he had the Louis Vuitton bag was just full of treats. Like I just thought, oh my god, why has he got all these sweets in his
Yeah.
bag? But it didn't obviously get after you compete. All you want to do is eat shit, sugary
Yeah.
shit. And he just put all these sweets, and he just kept passing me these Kit Kats in the cinema. Remember, he just kept putting the Kit Kats.
yeah, remember the peanut butter Kit Kats first came
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and I think you'd like have to
eating
find a
those.
box on eBay for 20 quid.
Was this the night of the after the show? Or was it like the day after?
No, it was about. I think it was the week after,
The week
or
after.
maybe
One
in the
month
week.
after.
It's probably like the
It was
Wednesday
in the
after the
week, I
Sunday.
think.
I don't know whether you
Yeah.
like stepped off stage and gone straight to the date.
No, and the thing is, I was only 16 stone at the time,
Yeah.
but I thought I was
You know
massive.
me.
Oh,
Only.
What do you mean only?
Well, because I'm 21 and half stone now. Nothing against 16 stoners. How old are you, Jay?
16 stone.
Oh, right. Yeah, well,
You're small.
there's a lot of height.
Thanks.
There's a height difference.
I'm glad this desk is in the middle of this.
And
Height-wise.
since we've met, I think I've had 13 and 14 off competing. I was trying to add this up last night. 17 and 9. So there's like 4 or 5 years off since 2012.
The first year of our relationship happened very fast. As in,
Yeah.
it moved very quickly. But I think when you know, you know. Like, I know some people get off-put by moving things too quickly, but I just think, you know, don't you?
Yeah.
But our first year of being together was amazing because all we did was eat.
No competing.
There was no competing, was it? I didn't know really much about it. You
Yeah.
weren't really doing it. You took a break because you didn't really know what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
We were just in love, weren't we? We were so in love with each other, and we just ate food and did so many amazing things together.
Yeah.
We met each other's, child, Ella and Harley. Harley's like 14 now, Ella's 16 now,
Yeah.
I met Harley when he was 3, you met Ella when she was 5, and we've just grew. And then, like I was saying yesterday, like, what was it, in 2015, you said,
Yeah.
you were thinking about getting back into competing, you wanted to sign up with Milos, and at the time, Milos was, like, expensive at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And you wanted to make that investment.
Yeah.
And because this was a new world to me, I was feeling quite insecure. I was worried that you was going to go travelling the world and be really famous. And this, how many years are we talking now?
Well, the only reason you thought like that is because we used to, obviously, he was at the Body Powers, Jay.
Yeah.
So we was always at the Body Powers with former sponsors, and we met people like Callum von Moger. And at the time, he was like one of the people I looked up to because they had this big following, fan base, and I think you kind of looked at him and thought that was going to happen to me, didn't you?
That was going to happen to you, yeah. So I was a bit scared about it, but I knew that's what you wanted to do, and in the end, I supported you.
Yeah.
And have supported you this entire time.
Yeah.
And really, if I'm honest, like, it's only really in this past year that you have been travelling.
Yeah.
Kind of worldwide with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because it took a long time for you to get a decent sponsor.
Yeah.
Who supported you, because travelling as a bodybuilder is flipping expensive.
Oh, it's expensive. Yeah. The cost of competing now has gone up exponentially.
Yeah.
It's
even to do an amateur show, what would you say you put into a prep cost wise?
I'm not
He
saying.
doesn't want to say.
Well,
It's a lot of money,
it
it
a
is,
lot.
and even just like obviously with
The food.
Two Bros, like, all respect to Two Bros, but like when I did that Two Bros show last year, it was because there was a chance for me to do multiple categories. I was like, this might be the only time I ever compete, so I'm going to do every category that I can do.
Yeah.
It's like 400 quid just to enter the category.
Yeah.
But that's
was
without
honest.
everything else, the hotel.
Yeah, everything, and just the prep,
Tan.
the 20 weeks of eating and everything else.
The food costs, the gym costs, they're like costs that you would be paying anyway because that's the lifestyle you choose to do. And I would say, if you're going to be not doing that, you'll probably be spending on something else. Yeah. You'll have another hobby that you'd probably spend a lot of money on. People like me and Jay, I think we're kind of like all in on what we do. I mean, yes, you described the perfect breakdancer with his sweatbands and stuff like that. So, same for basketball, DJ, videography, bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Well, I think, just like before we even started talking and watching you do the setup, and then when it doesn't go right, you can see how frustrated and pissed off you were because it has to be right, and everything has to be in that box. It has to tick those boxes, in order for it to be perfect. And you can see you're like that. You can just see you're a perfectionist. So I think you're quite similar to Jay, where you've got this addictive personality. Whatever you do, you've got to give it 1000%, whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's right. That is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he was DJing or if he was about
exactly.
or
That's
bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter. Like, even though being married to a bodybuilder is difficult, because it is, but I think whatever it is that you do, just because of your addictive personality, it will be difficult anyway. Somebody would have to adapt to something in the relationship.
I've always had something as well. I can't just. A lot of my friends, and you've probably got friends as well, that will work there, 9 to 5, and then they won't have like a hobby or anything they do outside of their work job. So when they get home from work, they just switch off and they just chill and don't do anything. And I've always had something, and I think that just builds up over time, doesn't it? And it's good because I think I definitely wasn't like ambitious as I am now with things like what you just described there. I don't think I've been like that. I haven't been, and I'm not like that with everything either. So there are things like she'll no doubt tell you, like around the house and things like jobs, I will procrastinate and I won't do them.
Yeah.
But then give me something else to do that I want to do, I'll go all in on it, which is mad, like, because it's like
jobs don't excite you in the house, do? Does it bring? It's not passionate.
No,
You're not passionate about putting the dishwasher on, are you?
But it's like it's things that need to be done though. It's DIY. It's like if my house needs to be painted, I paint.
Yeah.
He'll say, we'll just get a painter in. And I'm like, well, no, I'd rather do it myself.
I am on the road, like, so, on that note, it's making me sound like a lazy twat. This is what
does annoy me though, because Jamie does work long hours and he does travel. I also work full time as well.
Yeah.
I also look after both kids, the house, the dog, and Jamie.
Yeah.
So it's like we're both busy.
Because you are like a kid, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You are like another child in the house.
Jamie has never, ever had the washing machine on.
Never?
Never. He wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair then, you wash shitter than Jay.
Yeah, I do the washing sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm told.
Sometimes I'm told not to do the washing. It's like, don't bother doing the washing.
He's never done it. I mean, he does load the dishwasher up. That is his job.
Yeah. That's a task, man, because we're eating a lot. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
We are. I do feel like I am lacking the man. Like you aren't like a man.
Well,
like you're shitty.
I'm physically a man.
DIY.
Like a man.
Like physically. Like when you see yourself like pushing all that weight and you think, that's a man.
You always say got like man hands. You like my man hands.
I love your man hands. Yeah. Man hands are important. Don't want no puffed hands. Do you know what I mean?
No offence.
No offence to anybody.
To any puffers.
What I mean, I just mean like pathetic.
Oh god.
You know the pathetic boy hands with the little fingers.
Just keep digging.
Put my hands in my pocket.
Keep digging.
It's always been a thing of mine. Like a man has to have nice man hands because it's off-putting if they've got these little boy hands.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But you are like your mum does most of our DIY.
Yeah, she does, to be fair.
And
the gardening.
Yeah, and Jamie said as well, whenever we'd buy a new house, his mum would come up and she's up the ladder painting them.
Yeah, that's
And it's like, he stood there.
I think it's what they enjoy though. My mother enjoys doing it. I gotta check these cameras and maybe do a runner.
We have to pay Jamie's mum.
I know, Mum gets paid.
Or bring you some fags back.
Yeah.
From holiday. Bless her.
But yeah, if I asked Jamie, I said, I thought, right, we're going into prep again now, so we're talking 5 months of just him being in his own head.
Yeah.
When I know that I need my garage sorted out, the garden needs repainting, and there's things that need to be done. So I'm kind of dropping subtle hints slowly, just saying, oh Jamie, next weekend if the weather gets better, we need to start doing the garage.
Yeah.
He doesn't answer me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jamie, he's like, yeah, don't keep on.
Yeah.
Because
it's not nagging me.
Yeah, he's just not interested. And I always say, if you put as much effort in the house as you do in the gym, I'd have the perfect house.
Yeah.
But no, he's not interested at all.
Who's that?
That's my biggest gripe. It's I need help in the house, and there's always things that need to be done. Our house, we bought a new house, so it was great for 2 or 3 years. But now we're going into 4 or 5 years. Things need doing, and it's me that does it.
Has it always been like that?
Yeah.
I go through phases where I'll do something, I'll do it, but then it won't get done for a while. But I'll be honest, I am making a switch this year. I'm juggling my.
This is being recorded.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm switching things around, as you know, for me to be home a bit more this year. That's the plan. Later this year.
Yeah.
Because the mileage I put on my car last year was just ridiculous.
Oh,
it's in the 60,000s.
Wow.
I can't keep doing that, man.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know how you do.
Obviously you just keep doing it, but then when I've stepped back into last year and thought about it, this is a lot of time spent away from the house with the family first of all.
Yeah.
But also it's dead time travelling. So I am making switches to be home more. And I think those switches being in place will allow me to pull my finger out more at home.
Yeah.
And this is out there for the world to see. So
There
we'll
you
do
go.
this in a year's time and hopefully we'll be
Yeah.
on the
I'll
same
feed back.
conversation.
Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
So, Jamie competes and he's a coach, and you know, you spent many years. Like I can remember when Jamie was selling £25 diet plans from the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and now you're in a position where you do well from it. And I'm going to ask you the question because I think there's a lot of people out there that do bodybuilding and they take it to the extreme of a professional competitor.
Yeah.
But it costs so much money and you're not getting any financial benefit from it,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes up all of your time. It ruins relationships because of the time that it takes.
Yeah.
What are you getting out from it? Like, why are you doing it? Like, or, for you, I mean, I don't know about other people, but why are you doing it knowing that you're putting all of this money and all of this time into it, with the risks and the consequences that comes with it? Like, what is that goal? Like, what drives you to do that?
It's the regret, because I am so passionate about it, and there's going to be a day soon that I'm not going to be able to do it. Like I'm not going to. I'm very realistic with the fact that I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
Mm.
So I don't want to get to that point and then go, fuck, I didn't do it. Like, it's a bucket list. We've had so many conversations about it. It's a bucket list thing, and I really want to tick it off while I still can, because I don't want to look back and regret it. Because I already regret not being into bodybuilding as much as I am now earlier.
Yeah. Is it about winning for you?
No. Show
Right.
wins mean absolutely jack shit to me, honestly. Like, she will tell you that. Last year, the goal wasn't to, win Mr. Wales or win the first place. It was literally step on stage and look the part. Because I know the graft to put in. Like, I've trained with the boys. I film the boys day in, day out. So I see what they're doing. I know for a fact I'm doing the same thing.
That was going to be another question, like, because you're surrounded by it constantly, you're videoing it, do
Yeah.
you almost feel like you're missing out and you
No.
want to be part of that?
I don't feel like I'm missing out. It's not to fit in with
Okay.
the boys.
I think it drives you more though, being around these
It
guys.
definitely drives me.
Yeah,
like
the
a sponge.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, soak it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I think if you had a different career, you might not be as passionate about bodybuilding. If you had a totally different career. But I think being around these guys constantly
Yeah.
and living it with them.
Yeah, I soak it up, don't I?
Yeah,
It's like,
I
I'm
think
like a
so.
sponge.
Because you enjoy it as well,
Yeah,
obviously.
and
but I
that's-
think it does help.
Shown in my physique development the last 3 years since
Mhm.
I've been around like you boys and that.
Yeah.
Like, I've totally progressed, like massively last couple of years.
Yeah.
But it is literally just about me doing it for myself. Like you can't control show days, we know this. So it's like
Yeah.
whatever happens on show day happens.
Yeah.
And this year is like, I want to go against more people. And because I haven't been doing it long enough, I know I don't stand in the, I'm not going to be one of the higher end competitors in a lineup. I'm not going to be, because I haven't done it for long enough. I'll work my arse off up on stage for it. But as long as I beat what I did last year, because I know what I did last year and I walked away with that, and then that's the reality of it, because, we've seen so many people, we talked about this on the last podcast, being deluded about what they think. Because I won the Mr. Wales, people talk to me like, oh, so what's this, your pro card?
Yeah.
I'm like, you have no idea. I'm nowhere near a pro card.
Yeah.
And even if I won a pro card, I wouldn't do anything with it. I wouldn't, because it's not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal isn't to be a pro. The goal is to literally do it while I can before I can't.
So
Yeah.
what is your goal after you've completed this August?
After
July, August?
next year, when I finish competing for my
Yeah.
40th, which wraps up the 10 years, because I stepped in the gym for my 30th.
Yeah.
So I'm weird with numbers. It needs to finish on year 10, which is next year.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
So it's like 10 years,
Yeah, that makes
close
sense.
close the book,
Yeah.
and then it's literally going to be, the gym's obviously going to still be present, but it won't be like this. It won't be like,
Until you
The next
release
one.
Mr. Wales
Consuming.
Masters at 40 plus and then
yeah.
The
50
thing-
plus.
Yeah, the thing is, after last year, the plan was either to have this year off
Yeah.
and go into next year,
Yeah.
or end this year.
Yeah.
But already now we're talking about next year.
Well, it was
so
originally
it's kind
to
of
end
like that's
last
another
year.
year again.
Yeah.
It's another 5 months.
Well, I was going to ask,
Yeah.
based on Katie's questions, I had the same question. I was gearing up for it because it's a great question. Because I know from our experiences, if I didn't earn an income from bodybuilding and competing, I most probably wouldn't be doing it now.
No.
Well, I wouldn't have been doing it as long as I have been, because my pass to compete is because it's my job.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, going to the gym is going to work, competing is going to work, and trying to get a paycheck. So I know we'll go into this, but I know obviously what you said at JP's party about how Jay was last year competing. That must obviously be a very hard decision for you to be okay with him competing this year. So with the absence of income, even though he's obviously a videographer, gets income from videography, with the absence of income from competing, how does it sit with you? How hard is it for you to make decisions to be okay with him doing the competing stuff?
I think I not allow him to do it. Sorry, I don't mean it that way. But he enjoys it. He is passionate about it.
Yeah.
And I do feel that he always puts me and my children first.
Yeah.
And he's never made me feel any different. Yes, the weeks before his competition, he's not a nice person.
Yeah.
I probably cried more times last summer than I ever have in our relationship.
Yeah.
But I would just get up and walk out.
Yeah.
But how can you stop somebody doing something if they're passionate about it as well?
Yeah.
And what I've got to say is that in 19 years, Jamie has never gone out on a Friday night and never come home.
Yeah.
He's never gone out drinking and left me at home on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many friends and I've had relationships myself where this has happened, and I know that I could quite easily still be in a relationship like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful that I'm not.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm not here to slag Jamie off with competitions and his prep, because he's such a good husband and dad.
What
as well.
did you say to her in the car on the way here?
He is. I mean, I can't.
Jay, that was like a shit sandwich, but you ended with the lettuce and the salad cream and the cheese.
I know. But it is true. And I think what helps is I'm quite a boring person myself. I'm quite private. I'm quite quiet. I'm not a party goer.
Yeah.
I just want a nice, simple, quiet life.
Yeah.
And if it means that I've got to go for a couple of meals on my own, or if he's got to come to my friends' weddings with his little, Tupperware boxes, then so be it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there having my meal.
Do you like the fact that he is dedicated towards something?
Yeah.
Because obviously we've spoken in the past that one of the things you actually like is when you're in the zone.
Yeah.
And you're focused and you're dedicated. And like you say, you could be a down and out, you could be going out drinking, leaving you at home. And
I think it gives your life a bit of structure as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can't remember life without it now.
Yeah.
And as an example, between Christmas and New Year, I booked it off work. You were off work as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like lazing around the house, eating, drinking, and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
So as much as, we don't go out partying much,
No.
I mean, we both work hard.
Yeah.
We've got our structure. I'm not a bodybuilder, obviously.
Yeah.
But I do like the gym. I probably go every day.
Yeah.
I like doing my classes that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we've got a bit of structure about our relationship, and it obviously works for us.
Yeah.
I just, I'm hoping that this year he is going to be home a little bit more.
Yeah.
He won't be so tired, and maybe.
I don't know about that bit.
When you're on this calorie deficit, doing all the cardio and stuff, I think prep as well is mentally taxing and tiring.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, it's all about you, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just constantly like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Carl said this, Carl. And, I can say anything to him about his physique or, how great he looks, and he doesn't care. And then he gets one text off Callum, and he's like, oh my God, and he's up in cloud 9. And I'm like, well, I've been here 12 hours. Tell me how good you look.
That back end of the prep, you were getting the check-in pictures as much as Callum, and you were definitely like pumping me up, with your comments, 100%. You know
So
that.
it's like I'd be in bed in the morning, and he'd be over the gym doing his check-in pictures, and then my phone would be bing, 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 and I'd know I got about 15 check-in photos every day.
Yeah.
But I do kind of enjoy it. I mean, I don't want it to last forever, and you know, I know that when he does end it next year, it'll be something else.
Yeah.
So I think all I can
I
do.
think it's good to have something else.
Oh,
though.
You need something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a focus.
Yeah, I don't think I could be with somebody who had no drive and no motivation.
And even you though, with you,
Yeah.
you know, you've got other stuff going on as well. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to have your
We
other
bounce
thing.
off each other. Like he's, you know, you're very driven, and you're such a positive person as well.
Yeah, try and be. Most
No,
of the time.
you are. Like Jamie is not negative,
No.
and I can get stressed at times. I don't. Your stress is like, I don't know, me being normal. I don't know, like you just don't seem to. Whatever you've got going on inside, you keep it inside. And we were talking about this, that you aren't open and you don't like to talk about your feelings or share your feelings. And people might watch this and think, well, Jamie's normally quite an honest person. He'll talk about his feelings, but you don't. Not to me anyway. You don't kind of, whatever it is, you don't like me to be stressed. I think you don't like putting any more stress or pressure on me. Yeah. So you don't open up to me. Yeah. You protect me because I think you just don't want me to worry about anything. You're very much a provider of your family. You know, you take, again, the same thing, you take care of your family. You want your family to have everything that they need.
This is coming out right, isn't it?
No, because
I know.
you are. You know, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, I think that in any relationship, you know, both of you have to support each other. But if you, and I will be very honest and say that for many years in our relationship, I would put you first. Yeah. And I put my life on hold for you to make sure you had everything you needed, the kids were taken care of, and to a degree, you know, I'm still like that because I want the kids to be looked after.
Yeah.
Like you want to look after your family, I want to look after the family as well by taking care of the house and whatnot. Yeah, there's days when I fucking hate it and I wake up and I think, that's it, dishwasher again, floor again, do you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. But we both work hard in what we do to support each other and support our family. And I think you have to have your own thing in a relationship. You both have to have your own thing. You can't make your life about your partner, and because then you don't have a life. And this is what you were saying earlier about, if you want to go for a meal on your own, go for a fucking meal on your own. You want to go to the cinema, go to the cinema. Like last year I went to Bali on my own.
Yeah, I remember seeing that actually.
And I said to Jay, I said, I can't stop myself from going to places and enjoying life because you're on prep. I just can't. I did, because when we did do things together, and this is, you probably understand this, but even going for a coffee with your husband in a coffee shop with milk, it's a luxury. But that
Dairy
is
free.
the time that me and Jamie will actually have a conversation, because in the house he is distracted because he is working and he's on his phone. So that interaction isn't there. And he can't, I mean, most men can't do, you know, two things at the same time. So it's one thing at a time. So if he's on his phone, he definitely can't listen to me at the same time. He'd have to put his phone down. But in a coffee shop, we have that time. And I think when you are married to a bodybuilder, because you don't take for granted all of those things that people do on a daily, like having nice food and going out for meals regular, you appreciate it so much more. And that's one thing I do like about it. And in prep, I do like you better in prep because you are driven, you're even more motivated, you share your feelings a lot more.
Yeah, get more emotional when the estrogen starts going up.
Yeah, don't bring up the emotional prep.
I think it's probably more, like we're saying, towards the end, it's very, very tough. Yeah. And each year it gets bigger and the goals get harder and stronger, and then we have to get even stronger to, you know, prepare ourselves for what's going to come, per year.
But Jay's going to go up and do the cameras. I'm going to go for a toilet. Do you want a break, or do you want me to ask a question? Because I've got a question off the back of it.
Let's do the... Yeah, don't give them time to think about it. Okay. So keep the question to yourself. Okay.
We are women, we remember everything, so we've always got the answers stored, haven't we?
I need a toilet. Right, I've got 3 questions now.
Oh, you had 1 and then it turned into 3.
Yeah. So, we were talking about competing.
Yeah.
And obviously, Jay, Was that the first? No, it wasn't the first competition. You did men's physique before, didn't you?
Did men's
Perhaps
physique-
you won't forget that.
Yeah, definitely won't forget
I
that.
actually like
2016.
that look. I
Yeah.
liked Jay in that
Yeah.
in that competition. That was my favourite. I like him small.
So this is probably a good question then, because you could give a more in-depth answer than having just competed the once. But my view is, my feeling is, I may be wrong, but Katie says each time gets more intense, like the goal gets bigger. But I think, like I say, maybe wrong, but I think because you both know what's expected and you both know what's coming, it kind of is easier to deal with in future competitions.
No, you're completely wrong.
So I thought, I was going to say to Carla, don't worry because it gets easier.
You can't prepare for it, I don't think.
No, I don't think you can. And I think the thing is, while you're in your robotic mode,
Yeah.
going through what you're going through, we're also going through what we're going through. And
Very
it's not
good.
an opportunity for us to
Whiskey.
be able to open up and talk to you about how we feel, because you can't process that in deep in prep. So we have to process it ourselves.
Well,
you know
my
what I
other
mean?
question was, what was the hardest part of a prep?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'll ask you both. But seeing as you're talking about that may be the hardest part. Is it something else?
The loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nod in your head.
I agree.
Yeah.
I compared it to like last year, maybe like me splitting up with Jamie and
Yeah.
meeting someone else, and then realising I don't like this person, I want my husband back.
Yeah.
And then when I had him back, it was like, we were talking about different things rather than it just being about him all the time, because it is lonely and you get very selfish, not us, obviously you guys doing the competition. And that's all you want to talk about is what you've done that day, how you're looking, your check-in, your food. It's not like, oh, Carl, how did your day, or Kit, how did your day in work go?
Yeah.
Or, Jamie likes the gossip. He never turns around in prep and says, oh, what's happening, Carl?
Yeah.
What are your friends saying, or what they're up to? He doesn't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the hardest thing for me. And it just goes back to what Katie said, it ends up being lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
very
does.
lonely.
I don't know anybody who's not like it, but it does make you very distant from what's going on around you. You become very pigeonholed into what you're doing, and that's all that matters.
I think that even though you're going through a difficult time, because what you do competing is not for everybody.
No.
It takes some mental bloody strength to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to disregard like that. Your mental aspect of it is just as difficult, but in different ways.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes when you then have competed and you're on a high,
Go on, keep talking about it.
yeah, like you're high, and you almost want to kind of get back to normal. And kind of almost adjust back to normal life.
Yeah.
But we've had to adjust for the last few months. Well, pretty much all year. We've had to transition into each stage of that prep.
Yeah.
And I feel like you come back, and sometimes I feel like you can be demanding of me to just switch.
Yeah.
And I've had to turn myself off as well,
Mm-hmm.
as much as you've turned yourself off. So it's like almost reconnecting again.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't come that easy, does it, straight away?
No, we've said in the past, haven't we? It's not going to happen straight away.
No, and it takes time. And I think you do have to almost prepare yourself and know that it isn't like it is temporary. Like you do get back to that, don't you? But it just takes time. But I know that people now don't have that time. They're very quick to give up and move on.
And it's hard as a competitor to just switch back into not being a robot.
Yeah.
It's a transition, and it takes time. So if there's a couple listening to this right now, one of them's competing, one of them's not, and the person that's not competing is struggling, maybe the partner's a bit distant, what advice would you both give them? Whoever answers first is fine, it doesn't matter.
I think that the person that isn't competing will be challenged the most.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think my advice would be that it's really important that they have their own thing, that they don't make that partner everything.
Yeah.
And that they don't just support their goals, but they're supporting their own goals. So they have their own goals and their own drives. And my advice would be, don't stop yourself from doing the things you want to do because your partner competes.
Yeah, it's wrong for the person who's competing if they're
Don't
trying
put
to
your
stop
life
you
on
from
hold.
doing those things as well.
Yeah, go out. Don't feel guilty. Like you were saying earlier, Carla, don't feel guilty for if you want to go for food with your friends, or you want to go on holiday with your friends, or you want to do something with your friends. Don't feel guilty because your partner wants to compete. That's what they want to do. That's their passion.
Yeah.
Your passion doesn't need to be the same as well. That's
No.
another thing. If you are with a competitor, that doesn't mean you need to be a competitor, because when I first got with you, I thought I had to compete for Jamie to love me more.
I was just about to ask you that now. Did you feel pressured to?
Absolutely,
to do it?
1000%, and so I did.
And do you get a lot of people asking you? Because I do. I mean, I'm
Do
not
you
young,
compete?
but even now, people say, "Are you going to do a competition?"
Yeah, all the
just
time.
because I'm in a gym, and do you know what? I couldn't be further from that. I'm not against anybody who competes, but it's not me.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But I do think, from your question as well, Jamie, the person who's not competing, they do need to look after themselves, because you will have some low times.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this ever happened to you. It doesn't bother me now, but I do remember when Jamie done his first competition. Obviously, I didn't want to compete, but I was trying to compete with bikini models, so I didn't want to be on stage. But I was thinking, well, if I'm going to watch him, I want to be a size 6 and 8 as well.
Yeah.
Because he's standing down there with all these beautiful girls, and I'm in the audience, in my jeans and t-shirt, and you can get quite jealous, and I'm not a jealous person, am I?
No.
At all.
Yeah.
But, they're doing well, and their body is becoming, fantastic, and then you feel a little bit left behind.
Yeah.
And they're around all these people, and it's the same with Jamie's work. And I think I'm glad that I'm not a jealous person, because he works with a lot of beautiful girls. He's filming them. He spends a lot of time with them. So just as much as he's filming men, I've got to understand that actually you can't say no to women, because it's his job.
Yeah.
So I think you have got to look at yourself, and I think you've got to be happy with how you look and be comfortable with yourself as well. You're not competing with your partner who is competing.
Yeah, definitely not.
You've got to be relaxed and happy in your own mind and body as well.
If it reassures anyone as well, like from obviously a competitor, I could not imagine going out with somebody who did the same thing and had the same mindset as me.
Yeah.
That would be like the worst thing in the world. I would hate to go out with me or someone like me. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's just the worst thing in the world to think about.
Do you know what I think is important though? Not every relationship is the same.
No, exactly.
And it also boils down to how your partner is respecting and treating you in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are going out with a competitor, let's say they start to get a bit of a name for themselves, that makes you feel a little bit insecure. They're surrounded by a lot of pretty women. But let's say your partner is then loving the attention and then they change because they're getting bigger or they're getting more famous and they get more attention, they get more messages and things like that. But if you're with somebody who then disrespects that by entertaining that, you know what I mean? Entertaining messages or entertaining by liking other posts and things. I mean, I know some women and some men they're not bothered. They don't care. So some people think you're overreacting, but I think there has to be that element of respect. And if you're in a relationship, set the boundaries. If you don't like, I don't know. Let's say, for instance, we'll give an example. Jamie would not like it if I said, he's fit on TV, right? And I wouldn't like it because it would just make me feel like shit. So he doesn't like it, I don't like it. So we know that we would never say that in front of each other.
Yeah.
And I think we've set that boundary from the get-go, haven't we?
Yeah.
But there are relationships out there where people, like you said, you were saying that you would probably still be in a similar relationship where they was going out drinking all the time or they didn't come back home. And there are people out there that are battling relationships like that. And this is where you need to seriously ask yourself the question. This is about your happiness. This is your life. Do you want to stay in a toxic relationship? If it's a toxic relationship, then you need to seriously ask yourself, hang on a minute, am I happy? Am I not happy? Because if you're not, while you're young, get the hell out, because there are amazing partners out there that are right for you. If you're not with somebody that supports you, and supports your goals and wants you to be happy, then you're with the wrong goddamn person, in my opinion, and you're wasting your time.
Yeah,
Right?
that goes both ways. It goes from, if a competitor's not happy with somebody moaning at them for not being able to do A, B, and C, then perhaps that's not the right person to be going out with. Same as from the person not competing, being unhappy with the guy competing or girl competing and not being able to do certain things. Well, there's plenty more people out there that are probably going to be a bit more flexible and more to your liking. So
probably just not your person.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. The compatibility thing is.
I think another important thing is don't be selfish. Don't put a lot of pressure on your partner to, you know, if you're quite a needy person, sometimes we need to look within ourselves. Hang on a second. Am I being a bit needy here because I've not got nothing going on in my life? So I expect my partner to just drop everything for me. No, you're not allowed to go to the gym because of my insecurities. Yeah. Come on, we need to look inside as well. We can't, you know.
Well, that's where having your own things like it comes into its own, doesn't it?
Two-way street, then, huh? It's two-way street.
It is, and I think each year we've grown stronger because we've been able to prepare in a way. But I think because we know that the light is at the end of the tunnel, and I think we're at an age now where I'm not bothered about flipping dating. I wouldn't want to date, to be honest. I don't want to go through all that shit. I'm like you, Carla. I'm not bothered about going out. I don't even drink alcohol at all whatsoever. It doesn't interest me. The things that I love are going on holiday, going to the cinema, eating amazing food, spending time with family, you know, having a laugh, Jamie making me laugh on the sofa. Like, those are big things for me. I'm going to be 40 next year. I'm done with those days. But a lot of young relationships now, there's a lot of pressure.
And it's different times to when, like, obviously I haven't been doing it as long, but different times to 2012 when you guys first got together. So it's different world out there with everything going on.
Oh, yeah.
And the pressure, the society, like, you've only got to put Instagram on and it's, all you see is tits and ass and bodies in front of your face telling you this is what you need to look like to be accepted and worthy.
Everyone's drama and situations is all over this socials as well.
It's so much brilliant.
Keep it behind closed doors. Like, I'm not saying we have drama, but there are things that go on, and the last thing we do is put anything out on social media, but we know friends and stuff that
it's very filtered, and sometimes it's seen through the bullshit. And if you believe the bullshit, because let's be honest, they're brainwashing you daily. And if you are being brainwashed and you can't see through the fucking shit, you're going to struggle mentally. You really are.
Yeah, definitely.
And if social media doesn't help you mentally, fucking deactivate.
Just get off it,
Yeah. There's a lot of people on social media that probably don't need it, to be fair. It's probably having a negative impact on their demeanour and self-esteem and mental health. I mean, if I didn't need it for business, I probably would have ditched it by now as well.
Yeah, I said that at one point. I mean,
I like looking at some friends' photos, family living away, but I don't rely on it. I don't put anything up. I don't really use it.
Just like a nose.
Yeah, you know, I wish people happy birthday, and that's about it. I do like a little bit of a nose, but I don't rely on it on social media.
I think that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, it's changed a lot now from the days of Facebook when that first started. It was about seeing what your mates are up to, sharing your holiday pictures,
friends connected. But now anyone can be your friend, if you know, and anyone can follow you, and people can make horrible comments.
Well, now it seems like it's more about status and perhaps pretending you got some certain type of lifestyle.
Yeah, smoke and mirrors.
It's very it's very fake. It's not.
No, I mean a little bit of attention is nice, isn't it? You know, people appreciating what you do, and so I've had some amazing people make lovely comments to me and made my day with some of the things that they said. So there is an element to social media where you have almost like you know, a little community that are always positive about you, and you know, those people, I just think, you know, I love, and I love social media for that. But obviously, there's a lot to social media as well that's negative.
Yes, there's a lot of trolls as well, and there's a lot of people taking out their own misfortunes on other people. It looks like. I had a YouTube guy message or comment something really negative on my video the other day. So I had a click on the profile, see who it is, and his title on his profile was "Long-term or lifetime depression sufferer."
Oh, really?
Well, that doesn't mean you have to take out everyone else.
Oh.
Oh, come on. Where's the positivity?
Was
No wonder.
that in his bio, was it?
That was in his bio, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it says it all. So there you go, sign of the times. Question about Jay. Is there any version of Jay that's better, or are you more than happy with bodybuilder Jay? Would you like another version of Jay from the past, maybe? DJ Jay or breakdancer Jay?
I did fall in love with breakdancer Jay. We quickly moved on from that phase a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, he was still hanging about in car parks with the
Yeah.
cars and so on. I don't really want the DJ Jay back because obviously that's nightclubbing and being out early hours. So no, I'm happy where we are, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic Eye G.
Magic Eye. Yeah.
But that's good, and I think it just shows that it's okay as well for people to change.
Yeah.
Whoop, like this happened. This happened last week.
It's a weekly occurrence.
It's a weekly occurrence. We'll just. I'm going to try and get that off the hook. Well, I can't. I'm going to stand.
We leave it dangle. It's fine.
Leave it dangle until it all falls down.
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you hear some people say, don't you? Oh, you're not the person you used to be. But
Yeah.
people change, people evolve, people get older and grow up and like different things. And I think it's important to do that together.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, my friends always say that the day that I met Jamie, I became a nicer person.
Yeah.
And I believe that I did because
Wicked.
I was, you know, I was like young, I love attention, I was never happy.
Yeah.
And then even though those words stick in my mind where they were like, Carl, this guy is not your type. But actually my type was not good for me. So
Yeah.
when I met Jamie, he had his passions of music and basketball. And that was something that I hadn't seen before in anybody. But yeah, he changed me for the better, and I think we've both grown to be better people, really.
100%. I would definitely not be where I am now without you.
No.
God knows where I would have.
Still be in that car
I'd
park.
still be in the car park. Yeah.
Spinning on your head.
Yeah. Spinning on my head,
Yeah.
doing donuts.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same as us. That's our situation to a T as well.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for Katie, I would probably never have employed Milos when I did. Probably never would have won that 2015 British Championship. And Katie's actually pushed me throughout my career to go, do it, you can do it. You know, biggest fan. So it is a case of helping each other out, isn't it? It's that support system that makes the relationship work and makes you work as an individual. But again, we come back to that compatibility factor. It's not always there.
No.
And if it's not working, if you feel like someone's holding you back or not supportive of your goals and dreams, it is okay to say, you know, it's not working out.
Don't force it.
Yeah.
No,
Don't waste,
Yeah.
don't waste your time. Don't wake up when you're 40 and think,
Life's
"No, I
too
should have got
short."
that 10 years ago."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think if I thought that for one moment, then I wouldn't be with him.
yeah. Ladies, what is the worst part of being with a bodybuilder? There's got to be like one thing that you just hate, maybe.
It's probably like the cooking for me.
Yeah,
It's one of the main ones because I like my kitchen sparkly clean.
yeah.
And I've got to the point now where I just realise that it's never going to be like that because I don't do any of Jamie's cooking. I never have.
Who's Jamie?
Yeah.
I know I had.
I'm sorry.
I used to. Did you know I used to pay Katie to do my
I
cooking?
did.
Shit, I forgot
And
about
I took it as well.
Yeah.
Was it 200 quid a month?
No, 500.
Yeah.
500 quid?
Mate.
I wasn't
Yeah.
doing it for 200.
Hands
He
down.
actually came home and told me about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was like, that's fine. If you want to pay me £500 a month, I'll
Yeah.
cook food as well.
Happy days.
Hands
I
down.
forgot
So
about
did you get sacked or?
Do you know what? I actually hated
She
it.
gave up.
I thought, fuck this. It was the amount, though. The amount of.
It was
food-
3 meals a day.
It was shit. Do you know what it was? Because I'd got my life, and I didn't want to waste my time cooking fucking pasta and beef
Yeah.
and everything else that came with it.
Mm.
You know, I just thought no. And I think mine's similar. I think one of your worst traits is you are messy. You are messy, and it's a constant pickup, constantly picking up after you all the time.
Yeah.
Because I do like a tidy house. You know how you've got your things that you like structurally in your life.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
You know, you don't like anybody touching because it's very similar to us. We like a tidy, clean house. Clean up your shit.
Yeah.
It's your mess.
Clean up, man.
I like to think I'm cleanish.
Do you know what it is? I'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you not clean up because you think she's going to fucking pick it up?
No.
So why do you leave it? Do you think, fuck it, because Katie's going to pick it up or what?
No, the thing is, you're
I'd love to know why you do it.
You're very much, this needs to be tidy now.
Right, so how long
And
would you
I'm
have left
very
it?
much
'Cause I know
like,
I've left
that
stuff
can
on
be
the stairs
tidied
for a week.
later. Like, I've got other priorities now. If I'm eating,
Let's be honest, later isn't later.
No.
We're talking a week. We're talking
A week?
Yeah, I know.
No.
I have left certain things in certain places that you have left, right?
Yeah.
And they will be there for a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, but this is my thought. I do like other stuff that's more manly.
Like,
So if we were to go on holiday, I'd make sure the case was downstairs, the case was in the car.
well, cleaning's
I do
daily.
the driving.
Is that like twice a year though?
Yeah, cleaning's daily. What? You can't
I'm the one
put a
who-
holiday itinerary
I'm the
in
one who
comparison.
mows the grass when my mum's not
You
doing
do not
it.
mow the grass.
I do.
You do not.
Regular.
Bullshit. You must have done about 3 times last year.
To be fair, I was gonna say I'm the one who put the Christmas lights up, but it's
The only
March.
year
It's March, the Christmas lights are still
Well,
up.
they still up.
they're still up.
But you
and
did put them up.
I did put them up, yeah.
they're still up, and we've been together nearly 11 years. It's the only fucking year we've had outside
It is the
Christmas
first time,
lights.
but it's the first.
You're
No,
just
it's
keeping them up now.
He's rinsed.
I might just keep them up. God knows what the neighbours think. It's like looking at them next door with a Christmas light still on the fence. Oh God.
Our summer furniture in the garden. She was trying to get me to put it away for winter.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll do it when we got a dry day.
Still out there.
It's been wet
It's
ever
March.
since.
I bring it back
Yeah.
out in March.
You-
She's like, no point.
Do
I
you know
know.
the men listening to this podcast right today? In the comments, just answer honestly, because I don't think Jay was. Like, do you leave your shit because you think that your missus is going to tidy up because she's going to pick it up after you? Like, is it true? Is that why you do it? Come on, be honest.
Well, I don't leave my pants in the bathroom
Yeah,
after I've
because-
had a bath
No,
because I
because
think
there's
you're
some
going
bloody
to pick them up.
stains in them. Nobody wants to see them.
Jamie does.
Listen in there. Nobody wants to see your shit stains.
No, what I didn't mean that. I meant I do leave my pants in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Maybe they got stains in, maybe they haven't. Anyway, it's a story
they
for another day.
And do you know what makes me laugh, right? You shit stain your pants all the time. Let's be honest.
What?
Why don't you buy yourself the Calvin Klein white ones? If anything, you would buy the dark ones.
I always say,
But they're white
if you've
and they
not
can't
got
get the
skids in
stains
your
out.
pants on leg day, it wasn't hard enough.
Well, it's leg day every day then.
It's leg day every day. That is right, yeah. Oh God, I couldn't be a woman. Imagine wearing a thong. Oh God,
I've been wearing a
Damn.
thong since I was 15 years old,
Yeah.
and honestly,
never had a skid.
one of the most, I think they're comfortable. I think I'm just used to it.
Right, maybe.
Not for me.
Not for me. Tried it a few times.
Show day and that's it.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
that's
don't know
my
why
pants
you can sleep
situation.
naked at night. Because I
I
always
like
say,
to
don't
be-
your balls stick to your legs?
What's that?
Like balls stick to your legs if you sleep naked at night. Don't you need some like boxer shorts on at night?
You sleeping or you don't really know?
Don't you?
You don't
Get-
get
No.
naked though, James, yeah.
No, I don't actually sleep naked, no.
No,
Cause
I like to be free.
Jay knows what night it is depending on my PJs.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so like if the silks are out, he calls them silks. If the silks are out, he knows
Game on.
I'm gonna sit on top.
Game time.
If
It's happening.
you know the full on
Fleeces.
fleece
Oh yeah.
is on, he knows.
Might gotta be locked up.
Might as well, but you always come to bed naked.
I do. I have to be careful when like the kids have friends around. It's like, gotta put some shorts
That's
on.
my worst nightmare, see, because
Yeah.
we've got an ensuite in our bathroom and then my daughter sleeps next door.
Yeah.
So if I sleep naked and the quilt's off me in the middle of the night and she comes in to go to the toilet, I'm like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thought of that, I'm
And
like,
sometimes she has friends over, doesn't she? And we're
Yeah.
like, will she take them downstairs or
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
she say, I'll go in there? I wanted to ask a question as well, because I was thinking about this on the way up, and I do feel this strange thinking about it, Jane.
Go on, I've got to
Do you
check
two
that
go to
camera.
bed at the same time?
When we're not on prep.
Yeah.
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 Because I don't think we've ever gone to bed separately.
Yeah.
So even if one's tired and one's not, we just go up at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this on the way up, and
Yeah,
I
we
thought,
do.
other couples do
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
we do. We put the TV on in bed, don't
Yeah.
we? And then you'll fall asleep pretty much straight away,
Yeah.
and then I'll probably watch TV a little bit longer and then turn it off and go to sleep. But we do enjoy going up to bed together.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
putting the TV on, don't we?
The only time it gets messed up is when I'm on prep
When you're
because
prepped, yeah.
I end up waking up earlier. So I wake up at 4 and I'll go to bed at like 8.
Yeah, and that's
Whereas
too
our
late for me.
normal thing to do is maybe 6, 7, wake up, and then we'll go upstairs about 9 or 10 and watch TV for another hour. Or I'll probably fall asleep in bed, and then she'll nudge me and say, roll over, and then you watch it for another half an hour and go to sleep.
But it's been nice because we've been getting up together and we've been going to the gym together and training together just recently. And that's been really nice to do that again.
It's the freedom that comes with that competing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that side,
I think that's the hard thing for you guys. It's like when you compete and things for us are so restrictive and programmed and must do this, fully routined out. It's really nice at the minute because, like I said, we can train together. There's no real structure with the food. Like we can go for a coffee on the way home from the gym because I haven't got to rush home and eat my post-workout food.
Yeah, I love it.
It's very, very flexible. But you mentioned earlier about there's a fine line between balance and kind of no balance and freedom, like too much freedom. Because when there's too much freedom, you end up not looking forward to things that you can't have because you can have them. So that's the great thing from competing. It's like the restrictions are there so that when you can have the date night and the meal off and whatever else, the cinema visit,
so much more.
the appreciation there.
Poor show was like that the first time I'd experienced it, obviously after competing properly for the first time, because we went to town a little bit after that, didn't we? After the shows, like with nights out, food, a couple of trips away. Magaluf on the strip ended up. It was one of those ones. So we had a blowout after the prep, but it was like good to get all that. It was good to get the prep done and obviously nail it, but then obviously have that balance and make up for lost time. And also pay debts for the future. So it's like that's how I thought of it. It's like I'm paying my debts for this prep now. And obviously once this prep is done, we'll do the same back end of this year. You
got to cool the flames. I've got a funny one actually about post prep. Because through prep, especially towards the end, what do we say to you? It's all going to be about you. Don't worry, we've got so much fun. We got this plan, this plan, this plan, which definitely does happen. But little things like if we go out, little things like if we go out for a walk that we've been looking forward to, like if we're looking forward to go out for walks in the morning together, and I'm 5 minutes into a walk and now I've got a shin pump because I've eaten so much food. I'm in pain. Well, it's just like, oh, you're out of prep, but you're still like useless. Or if you enjoy food together and your now main focus because you've been deprived for 20 weeks is the food, not your wife. And then 5 minutes after the food, you end up like this. And you must be sat there thinking,
on our own again.
This is what I was saying earlier about that transition stage of when you come off prep. Don't just go back to normal.
I went through a moment, didn't I? Where was it like about a month where I couldn't stay awake? I was just like this. And I literally couldn't stay awake.
Tired all the time. I was sleeping all the time. But since you got fitter, because you was eating a lot of food, and obviously with a lot of food comes lethargic. You get lethargic, don't you, from loads of carbs, and then
it was an issue, wasn't it? It became like quite a big issue that I couldn't stay awake. And then I remember one time, I had some THC gummies from Canada. And my friend Sam, I think he's taking the mick out of me. He said, "You want to take one of these because it makes you more alert. You'll be able to stay awake." So I took one, of course.
Gone.
And then I woke up, didn't I? And I was chatting so much shit. I was high.
He was chatting. Really random
she
stuff.
was laughing her head off. What are you laughing at? I was like, I don't know, but I was laughing. So,
we've been one of the boys is into the CBD, the gummies on there as well, and we've been talking about having a little bit of a shindig and just getting the gummies on the go because they seem to have a fucking whale of a time on them. Like
I think the gummies are the one. Because they take about 20-30 minutes to set in, but once they hit, it's like, oh.
Yeah, but the one night he had the gummies and he had a couple of drinks.
Oh, really?
It's Liam in it as well.
Right,
Liam. And you won't mind me saying this anyway. You probably watch this. You'd be laughing. I said. So they were having laughs and they're having a couple of drinks or whatever. But then it starts going south fast for him. Like his missus is fine. She's still in giggly mode. He starts getting really paranoid and starts having this coughing fit. So he's in the bathroom. He's having this mad coughing fit. And he comes back and he feels like he's having an out-of-body experience. So he's sitting back on the sofa. His missus is still laughing and giggling. And he's going white. He's getting really paranoid. And it's getting to the point where she's starting to get worried. And he's like, I think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Can you go into the bathroom and check? I'm not there on the floor.
What?
Because I think I'm having an out-of-body
No
experience.
way.
I think like I'm sitting here,
Wow.
and he was deadly serious about it because I didn't hear from him all weekend,
Yeah.
and then I spoke to him like back end of the
Must have been
weekend.
strong.
Yeah,
But then she got paranoid, didn't she? Because she
Yeah.
was thinking, what if I do go in there and I see him on the floor?
No.
So she got up and went into the bar because where their bathroom is, I think it's like at the end of like the living area there, and it's down there.
Yeah.
So she gets up to go off the bathroom, and he's sitting there waiting for her to hear a scream that he's on the floor. Like, yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he's trying to get us to get involved.
That's the only thing that puts
Oh.
me off with things like that, is
I
that
don't like
because
it.
I want to be in control.
Yeah.
It's letting that control go. Like I would just think I'd go into full blown
She's the
panic
same.
mode.
Yeah, I don't
She's
Yeah.
the
like
same,
it.
exactly
Even
the
if we don't drink often, but if I go out for a wedding or a big night out, I know when to stop drinking
Yeah.
because I just don't
Yeah.
like that feeling of not
Mm.
being in control. So the thought of
Same.
taking something, no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
You get anxious, don't you?
Where's Jay? Taco.
I wouldn't take home. I've led a very civilised life up until
No,
37
well, like
years
gummies
old.
and that. If
Well,
the
yeah.
gummies, if somebody said to you, like, oh, you only meant to take one or whatever, you'd think, oh no, I'm a bigger bloke, I'll take about 4 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then you'll feel the
I
impact
think that's
of it.
bodybuilding mentality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take a few
You take
extra.
more than one, don't you? The tablet.
It was
whatever
Dusty's fault. Dusty
Yeah.
in Canada, I never took a gummy before. You're supposed to have like 10 milligrams to start you off. He was like, I normally take 20, but you're big, so I take 30. And I was like,
That's what you had an out-of-body experience.
I didn't know where I was. Yeah, I
Exactly.
woke up in this Vegas mansion where we were staying, and I was working for a wee, and I was like, I do not recognise this floor. I was looking at the door, and I remember looking at the door like this, like about 20 times.
But that's you. You're very good at just staying calm. Like, you're very good at telling yourself that this is all right.
Yeah, it's all right,
Like,
yeah.
whereas me,
You
I would
lose your
probably be
shit, yeah.
scraping the walls.
Yeah.
Like, I would be like having a full blown panic attack.
Yeah.
I'd die and take me to the hospital sort of moment.
Yeah. Panic
I know it
stations.
would. And I think my panic stems from when I did do it back in the day, like years ago. I'm talking years and years ago. When I did it, I like overdosed
Mm.
and I ended up in hospital. But what came with it was the panic attacks. And I don't know if anybody's ever had a panic attack in this room or
No.
anybody. But panic attacks is literally you feel like you are dying. You cannot breathe. You cannot get the oxygen. And you're just going, I can't breathe. I can't
Yeah.
breathe. I can't breathe. To the point where you say, I'm going to die, ring an ambulance.
Yeah.
And you genuinely think you are going to fucking die. And it's one of the most scariest things I think anybody has ever been through is a panic attack. And that's what happened to me after the abuse of that. And now I feel like now I'm older, I'm very careful about what I take,
Yeah.
what I drink, like anything like that. You know, Jay, like Jay's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
come on, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't because of it. I've got PTSD from what I
From
went
that.
through, you know,
Yeah.
from panic attacks and how it made me feel. And I just don't want to be in that place again. So I don't put myself through it, but that's where it stems from.
I remember gave you a pre-workout once. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's got no caffeine in it. I promise you. It's just a natural one.
That was in a
How many
panic attack.
milligrams? Yeah, but how many milligrams of caffeine did it have in it?
Oh, it was a good one. Is that was it called Stampedes? I think it was like
Was it
proper
80?
strong. I think it was, yeah, 80
Yeah.
Stampedes. It was
Yeah,
really strong at the
told me it
time.
had no caffeine in it. Gave me that. Drank it. Straight away, I was like, oh my god, I don't feel good.
She had. Do you remember the curse? Have you ever tasted
Oh
the curse?
my god.
I'd never taken pre-workout before. I
Yeah.
went to a gym class and my friend said, just have 2 drops, Carl.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. The only time I could see is if I put my head between my legs, because every time I put my head up, everything just went black.
Really?
So I had to ring him to say I can't drive yet because
No
I'm
way.
taking pre-workout and I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. I had to lock myself in the toilets in the gym.
Oh bless.
So you kind of mellowed
Yeah.
out.
But now she's in to my pre-workout
Yeah.
every day to go to class.
The worst one I had was the atomic bomb you gave me from
That's
Anthales.
party time. That is. That's the best one.
I didn't know what was in that. Cold sweats.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel good. I was like, oh,
And
please.
I was heaped scooping that at one point as well.
That's mental.
Just the tolerance level has
Yeah.
just been built up with it.
Crazy.
But I am a stim junkie, obviously, with the Monster and Andy. They don't.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good, I know.
No.
And that's another thing. When I kind of step away or stop being as focused on the bodybuilding thing, it'd be nice to kind of take a break off that. It probably hit me for 6 when I first
It will,
Yeah.
because your body is constantly in stress mode.
Yeah.
You're constantly stressed
Yeah.
all the time. Even when you think you're not, you are, because of what you're taking, which stimulates stress and cortisol. So
Yeah.
you're constantly stressed.
It comes with the territory, doesn't it? The videography. You don't see many videographers about
There's always
monster
a
or
monster
rain.
in hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't cane monsters though. I'll have one. Sometimes I'll go a day without them, but I will have some sort of stimulation.
Yeah, because you've built a habit. Your body now depends on it and
Yeah.
needs it.
Yeah.
But I don't drink a lot of coffee though, so
Yeah.
it would literally be like a decent scoop of pre-workout with a pre-training.
Yeah.
And
You're
that
probably
would be,
better drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Probably be healthier.
Mhm.
Coffee beans and God knows what else.
With
It's a
almond milk.
monster.
I
And
love-
the ingredients.
I like quite a few.
Yeah.
I love my coffee. But you know when you like something so much, it can get disappointing when it's not right.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think coffee, like there's, like your chains like Costa and Starbucks.
Not again.
I don't think they make a decent coffee.
I think I'm going to have to get a
Commercial,
screw. This is one of the DIY jobs, Jay, that we're not good at.
Well,
Yeah.
we've put 10 episodes in now, so I reckon it's about time we really.
Well, that just sums you two up, actually. Temporary.
Well,
Something that will actually eventually collapse.
I didn't actually want to ruin your wall.
Yeah.
Because this is your,
Yeah.
house.
I'll bring
Outhouse.
the drill home from the gym, Jay. Next time the podcast is on,
No.
actually. You've got
We
one
could get some more
quite,
artwork up in here, I think.
you've got one in quite quick succession, so I'm not going to promise that.
Yeah. So that's a DIY job, and we don't do DIY.
No.
Get your mother
I
done.
know, but I bet you do this down.
What?
Because it's for a purpose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the purpose of our DIY is to keep you happy, so...
So why don't you do the stuff in the house then?
Well, the last time I did DIY, I was worried for ages that the thing was going to fall down. I put the TV on the wall, didn't I? And then the day after, remember, I got a scream from the living room. I was like, oh my God, the TV's fell down. And it was you, wasn't it, when you had your episode with... Because you was worrying about flying.
Oh, just
No, when I had the pressure in my ear and I fainted in your arms.
Yeah, when we was going to Dubai. But it was like the pressure and the anxiety of flying,
Must have
wasn't it?
been, yeah.
I'm scared of flying as well.
Yeah, I
Really
was
bad.
petrified. Petrified, yeah. Honestly, I was thinking like I am dead against taking stuff, but I think I would need some diazepam next time we fly because
Yeah.
I am that bad.
Every time you fly.
I didn't used to be, but as I've got older, I've got worse.
I've been like it since, well, probably for the last 20 years. Now, when I was 17, 18, 19, I used
Yeah.
to go flying on my own.
Yeah.
But I've got worse as I've got older. And I literally, every flight I take, I think I'm going to die.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So it's horrible because I think you have to control, like, I don't like heights and I don't like fairground rides or whatever, but I can choose not to go on them. But I love
Yeah.
holidays.
Carl, have you got so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
in common?
Yeah.
It's that same person.
You think you've got to do it, but I've never flown further than Europe really. But we went to Dubai last year, and I think it got me over my fear of flying a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know, because when I'm on a flying with Jet2 or whoever,
Yeah.
I'm sat there and I'm watching everybody. I try not to show the children when they were younger, and I'm on my phone. I can't really do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at everybody. He falls asleep. He wants to stay awake.
My
I'm
fault.
crying.
My fault.
Yeah.
Jay falls asleep
I
straight
cried, my hands are sweating. But actually, I realised that when I flew to Dubai, and it was a little bit more luxurious, and I had, my headphones in, and I was watching Call the Midwife or whatever,
Yeah.
that I found it so much easier. So when we went back to Spain or wherever we went after that, I was like downloading then programs, and I found it so much better for me because it was giving me something to focus on. But yeah, I absolutely hate flying.
Nothing works for me because I've flown business class
Yeah.
and in the Emirates plane, and it's
Well,
the
it's
most-
just a takeoff, isn't it?
it's takeoff in turbulence.
Turbulence is the worst, though.
I just,
Yeah.
it's like you say, it's just the control thing, innit? You're
Yeah.
not in control. Somebody else is in control of your life.
You had a really bad flight somewhere last year, was it?
Yeah, Rome.
Was it Rome?
Yeah, it was Rome. It was flipping terrible. I thought I was going to die.
My wrist can still feel Katie's hands.
This is how
They're
calm
like
he
marks.
is, though. This
Yeah.
is how calm he is. It's a good job that I am with somebody who is calm in stressful situation because
Yeah.
the plane was doing this. It was, oh my God, it was bad.
Yeah, it
wasn't
was
And then,
bad.
you know when it drops and
Yeah.
then it comes back up and it drops.
Oh.
And then you hear the, and then when everyone does that, you just think, oh no, that's
gonna
it. We're going to die. And I was holding on to Jay and I was like, Jay, we're going to fucking die. And he's like, no, we're not. It's fine. Blah, blah. They're calm. Like he is. We land, we get off, and I'm like, I'm never flying again.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
said.
I know.
And I says, but you're not scared, Jay, then? All he says, yeah. He says, I thought we were going to fucking die. He says, but I can't say to you.
No, you got
we're going to die.
calm, innit?
I like to suffer in silence.
Oh.
You've got no one to turn to.
I
Yeah.
can never understand people who say their holiday starts when they get to the airport, because for me, my
I know.
holiday doesn't start
Till
until I
you're
get
there.
until I get my luggage as well. Because I think if
Yeah.
my case went missing, that'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then when I'm there, I'm worried about flying back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like I don't really relax about
No.
it.
I just want to be knocked out, I think, next time.
Thing is, at the airport as well now, you spend so much time in security,
Yeah.
you can't relax. When you do get through, there's a massive queue everywhere to
Yeah.
get served food or drink. So it's like, oh,
It's
Just
a
get me on a
stressful
plane.
one, isn't it? Especially like with you travelling last year, competing and dealing with that travel stress and like
Mhm.
obviously shows around the corner and stuff
Yeah.
as well. That's a mental one.
Yeah.
People ask me if would I go abroad to compete this year, and it doesn't float my boat, but
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine it. Could not imagine it.
Yeah.
The stress it puts on you. Like.
I got a. It's perhaps one of the last main bodybuilding questions of the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we've been going for.
We are on. We're up about 1 hour 20.
Yeah, wicked.
Perfect.
Because you might have come across this, Carla, because I know Jay, since we met, was in probably 2018 when I was with Jordan,
Yeah.
or 2019. And probably since then, you've taken bodybuilding more seriously. Well, again, not just in prep, but when I started taking bodybuilding more seriously in the off season. So it then became a 365-day-a-year hobby or job. I think that level of difference between me taking it seriously just for the 20 weeks of the year I was competing versus 50 weeks of the year having a couple of weeks off, that was the biggest noticeable point, wasn't it, of
Yeah.
our relationship.
Yeah.
2018-19, you were struggling a bit because it's like, well, now it's like you're on prep all year.
But not only that, we had lockdown to contend with as well. In
Yeah,
2020.
yeah.
So, and you'd started with JP the previous year.
Yeah,
And that was an eye-opener for me because obviously before, like you say, you were just like a 20-week prep.
yeah.
We had so much flexibility in the off-season.
Mm,
Then you signed with JP and then there was no flexibility,
yeah,
really. And then lockdown happened. So lockdown happened, you still had your job, you were still coaching. I just opened my beauty business and then lockdown was
Yeah.
there and I couldn't, my business was, even before it started, it was shut before it even started.
yeah,
So you were still very much okay. You was in prep, you had your coaching online, and you invested in a PlayStation, and you played the PlayStation for 4 or 5 hours
Call of Duty. right?
daily.
Yeah,
And yeah.
One sec. Keep talking. Can you pass me the Mac charger just for this before this switch?
Oh, yeah.
Can you get me that right lead? But continue talking. I just don't want to lose this last bit. We're going to keep this in. Anyway.
Yeah,
That's
and
all.
we're going to go on the back.
Run the back, mate.
just feel like I was very much left on my own in lockdown
Yeah.
to deal with lockdown, and to a point where I was going to go and live with my best friend Kat because I said I can't be in this relationship anymore
Yeah, because I was in prep, wasn't I, for
because she wasn't. I was having a
2021.
mental fucking breakdown in the first lockdown. Like honestly, I didn't even want to be here.
I think a lot of people struggled.
But
Because-
I didn't have emotional support.
I don't have anyone to. Yeah.
I had no support at all whatsoever, none. And you very much acted like you didn't care.
I don't think it was I didn't care, so I didn't
No, but-
realise how bad it was.
Yeah, but that
And
is,
I was in prep, that's
but
switched
that's,
off.
That's my whole point. Like
Yeah.
you switch yourself off so much that others are neglected
Yeah,
because you're so focused that
Yeah.
others suffer. But my worry sometimes with you is you switch yourself off that much that you don't see when someone's suffering.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Someone as close like your wife. And I
Mhm.
think it was a very difficult and testing time in the first lockdown for me.
And I think it can be made a bit of a joke out of kind of, I'm in prep, so she's not happy about it. But
Yeah.
actually, why isn't she happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I wasn't happy because my business had shut
Yeah.
down before it even started. I had nothing to focus on. Everyone was painting fucking their houses and shit, weren't they? Like buying
Yeah.
loads of stuff. I've got a husband who was playing 5 hours worth of COD, and then was doing like online clients and just wasn't interested. He was playing with his friends rather than coming into the living room and giving me emotional support.
Yeah.
I made a bench and a squat rack.
It was really weird. Like, why? In fact, let's ask on this. Why was you like that year? Like, it was like you was almost like a different person.
I don't
Like,
know.
what was it?
I guess that, the lockdown was obviously a new thing for everyone. Everyone had a different way of dealing with it. My way of dealing with it was like to try and maybe pretend it wasn't happening. Keep yourself busy. So the PlayStation became a nice distraction.
To connect with people because you couldn't really be with them? Or?
I don't know. It's probably just a distraction, so I didn't have to think about being locked up.
It's probably the same way
Anyway.
people go to the cinema. I think to get out of what they're living in, that world they're living in.
Yeah.
Take them out with that for an hour or 5.
So how
Yeah.
long did that go on for?
Well, I'm going to be honest here because you're not the same person now as what you was back then. So, but I'm going to be
Better now,
honest. He is better now. Yeah, absolutely. He's fantastic now, actually.
I don't know much.
But I remember I would have anxiety attacks, and he would not stop with me to help me through my anxiety attack. He would go. If he needed to go, he'd be gone.
To the gym?
Yeah, if he needed to go to the gym, you would be gone.
Yeah.
If I was having a moment, because I was anxious all the time. But if I was really, really struggling, and I needed Jay, I did feel like you just wasn't interested. You was not. And that's the other thing, like, back then, you didn't take my mental health seriously. I don't know whether...
I probably wasn't aware how serious it was, because in my head, I've got a wife who is anxious about something, but I have to train because I'm competing in 6 weeks' time, and I need to train, tick that box to make sure I'm mentally okay.
But it wasn't just just about before competition. It was like in the off season.
But like you say, the off-season sessions are just as important as the competition sessions at the time. Like, my head's like that, built into being that robot. That if I think you're okay, then there's no reason I can't go to the gym because I'm going to be gone a couple of hours and I'm going to be back.
But I wasn't okay.
No, I know, but I didn't know that. Whereas if you...
but what did you need to know? Because I was there.
Because it wasn't physical.
Crying.
It wasn't physical.
But I was showing you emotion.
Yeah, but it wasn't physical. If you had a physical...
What, like a stab wound?
Visual injury where you couldn't look after yourself, then obviously I'd have to do something about it. I'd have to be there. I'd have to be present.
So you see physical and mental as two different things?
Well, I obviously understand mental health a lot more now.
Would you do things differently?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but obviously at the time, all I'm concentrating on is my prep or my bodybuilding and distracting myself from the situation. And I didn't realise how serious it was.
I think this comes back around to where you've said about how he doesn't get stressed out about things. That's probably that part of your personality where you don't.
I think
stress
Jamie
about
struggles
things.
with empathy to a degree.
But what Jay said is actually right. Sometimes because I'm so chilled out and I deal with situations very differently, I find it hard to relate with someone who's like the other end of the spectrum and relate with their level of worry or anxiety.
Yeah,
So
unless
I
you've
can't
been through it
understand
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like,
to me,
that's
it's
what
like
I'm
it's
saying,
not like lads.
It's almost like a lack of empathy. Like he doesn't, if he's not been through it himself, he doesn't get you. Like he doesn't understand what the hell's going on. He's like, what's wrong with you? Like he would look at me like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Get up. Like
It is that thing is if you haven't been through it yourself, you don't know.
you don't know.
And
He's like Jamie's never been heartbroken.
Lonely hearts.
No, you haven't though, have you? You've never been cheated on or
No, I have.
never-
I told you I have. When I was 16 years old.
Oh god, I don't
My
care.
first,
16.
Fucking don't
my
care.
first
Jack.
real girlfriend, Michelle.
I'm on about committed relationships
Michelle,
here.
I remember it though. She
Yeah, but
cheated
did it
on me
affect you?
at a friend's party. It affected me at the
Michelle's.
time, yeah.
Did it affect you that much that, like, I don't know, like your previous relationships, you did cheat on your partners? Like, do you think it affected you and made you a cheater? Or do you
Maybe.
just think it's because you weren't,
Maybe.
just because you just, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
What I
No,
was
I'm
going to
talking
say.
years ago, by the way, people.
What I was going to say off the back of that is where you said we or Jay didn't know.
It's getting hot.
It's knocked the power off on here as well. We're right.
Bullshit.
Where
Right?
Jay didn't understand what you were going through. At the same time as that kind of tails back to the prep, where maybe because you don't know how we feel how we're going through our preps. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same.
We don't, do we? But I think
you don't know what the other person's going through, but it is important to be there as
But
a
it's
crutch.
affecting us as well, though.
But
And that's it. I'm on about both sides of it.
Yeah.
But you know what the issue is with that?
We don't know what you're going through, having to deal with us pricks on.
But you choose to do it. It's
But we
a choice,
choose to do it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
You
mental
choose,
health
yeah.
isn't a choice.
No.
Just check the
But
car.
putting yourself through a prep is a choice.
Yeah.
And to an extent, I think it is manageable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got to realise that, again, the developments with the relationship and the changes with bodybuilding, you simply just go and do it and then expect us to just transition.
Yeah.
And then we're left dealing with it. And then when you, obviously with you at the time, you just saw it as what you're fucking fannying about at. You know, left to just try and transition on my own to the differences. Because you're not getting any attention, are you? You're not getting anything. No,
Yeah.
nothing. But what you do is you'll go in the zone and no communication.
Yeah. I think from my point of view, Jay might be able to relate, but I see prep as it's like a pressure cooker. Because I'm not going into a prep with full confidence of smashing this show or whatever it is and coming first place. I'm very much a person who will doubt a lot of stuff and overthink things and put pressure on myself because I feel like I'm not good enough. So in my head, I've got to work harder than other people. I can't miss a session, I can't miss a meal, I can't miss a beat because I've got to be perfect because I'm not as maybe genetically gifted as someone else, or for many years, obviously, I've been a tall bodybuilder, so I need to just tick every single bloody damn box, and that's the pressure I put on myself every day, which allows me to be less accessible emotionally. But if things pan out the way I think they might, I might have to compete again. So this good lifestyle at the minute is going to be the
way forward.
The way forward.
Can you just check the plug of this laptop, the Mac charger? Because I think the sign has pulled it out.
Oh yeah, shit. Just plug that. Can you plug that in, please?
It's the actual charge. The wires come out of that.
There we go.
Thank you.
Game on.
I think sort of. It's what makes me tick though. Pressure. Because I'm a calm person, I need pressure to perform. Just like a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's too relaxed, I've got no routine. I'm shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shit on it.
Yeah.
I'm completely the other way.
Yeah.
I'd say I was probably almost borderline depressed. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit there and.
But you shut people off. You shut us all off.
Yeah.
You shut everyone off.
That's just me.
That's what you do.
Something.
You shut everything
Something
off.
I'm working on.
Yeah. So you don't let anybody in.
It's a process.
That thick wall goes straight up.
Yeah, but we go back to the try and provide for your family, being the man of the house, and
Yeah, the pressure that you put on yourself.
not pressurising other people, or putting on other people, dealing with yourself because you feel that's the best way to do it. Obviously, a lot of times it's not.
But this is what we spoke about. I wanted you to share your load with me more in how you're feeling and going through. Why do you have to do everything sexual? Dirty bastard.
And on that
You know
bombshell.
what? Such a serious thing to say, like a supportive thing
I
to
felt
say, and
it.
that twat laughs in corner.
Oh, sorry.
Piss
It's
off.
just how you said it. I want you to share your load with me more. I was like, come on then. Let's
right
go.
now on camera.
That's
No.
the other thing, isn't it? The expectation of sharing the load when you want it. There's no fucking,
Oh, God.
nice it is. It's,
No,
come
when-
on, I need to sort myself out.
When did we have that conversation? Was it
What,
in
lack of
Dubai?
passion?
No. When did you have the conversation where it was in Dubai, wasn't it? It was on your birthday and it was that meal.
Yeah.
We actually had like a bit of a to-do, didn't we? Well, then we got... The to-do was because I don't open up. So we actually got to the point at the end of this
Yeah.
meal where I'd opened up and she was like, there you go. And it was about me not being comfortable with not being able to handle everything by myself.
Yeah. You take it all on.
Yeah.
And you never, ever ask me for anything.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Nope, never.
But
Does not rely on me at all whatsoever. Never asks for anything. Never wants of me. Nothing.
But obviously that can be a bad thing because then the person
Yeah.
feels like they're not
Yeah.
needed or
Which is
yeah.
what my next thing was going to
Well,
be.
you
Yeah.
want that as a woman.
I would
as well,
love
don't you?
that. I would love for him
You
to
do.
open up and say, Katie, I really need your help with this, but you'll never ask me.
Do I? Open
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I think you're more open than me actually. I think
Yeah.
my personality might be similar to yours.
Mhm.
I'm very calm, but I don't find it easy to talk to people. Like I don't
Yeah.
break down often. I'm not the crier
Yeah.
unless it's the week before
Yeah,
competition. Whereas he is, so it's the role reversal there with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think you are quite needy of me. I don't know. I
Great.
don't.
I'm needy.
You are
Clingy as well, am I?
very clingy. He likes attention all the
See,
time.
I
whereas
would,
don't.
I would love a little bit of that from Jamie. Like, I wouldn't want it a lot, but I would love him to be just a little bit more needy of me and want my attention more. Like, I would love that. He's like a fucking wall. Honestly, you're hard to get through to sometimes.
Sometimes. I think I would spend a lot of time in my own head.
But if you were both too needy, then would it work? And
No.
if you were both a wall, would it work?
But I don't
So maybe
think,
it's
I mean,
positive
I'll
and
ask you the
negative.
question. I don't think I'm a needy person either. Like, I don't know what you think about that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe.
No, I think the biggest thing that's changed our relationship is you've had your own purpose and your own goals and your own thing, like with the beauty and the businesses. That's why I was so hard in lockdown, because you felt like you didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And you didn't have my support either.
Yeah.
So you was more needy because you didn't have anything else to distract your attention and focus on. But in general, you're not a needy person.
No. No, I
If
don't
anything,
think I am.
I've moaned at you in the past for not giving me enough affection and stuff like that. So we're both similar and
We are
not.
similar.
Yeah.
I think with me, I think it's more, I wish you'd open up to me more
Yeah.
and rely on me more as somebody that could help and comfort him
Yeah.
through difficult times. But then that makes me feel like is my opinion or support not good enough, because he will open up to others.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier though, isn't it? for
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that are not so
Yeah.
close to you.
Because
Yeah.
I know, again, I go back to the fact that he don't want to put that stress on me, and he doesn't want me to, because he knows that I can suffer sometimes. But I know there's, I understand a lot better now why he is the way he is. But yeah,
You did a website, that was amazing.
I offered to do your site, babes. No, you didn't ask. I said, let
No,
me do
but
it for you.
a lot of times in the past you've offered and I've been like, I've not took it up ever.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I guess I don't.
I was like,
Put on
it's,
you.
this site that he had, it wasn't great. And I said, look, Squarespace is such an amazing platform to set up a website. It's simple, it's got everything.
Not
and I
sponsoring Squarespace, are we?
No.
No, we're sponsoring Katie. And I just did it, didn't I? Built your website for it.
Yep.
Just all singing, all dancing.
Is that with all the merches and everything now as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on there.
It's all for
Coaching.
links. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Nice.
think perfect way to channel towards the end of this podcast is to ask your lovely wife how much you're looking forward to this prep, what your expectations are, what your feelings are going into this journey. Because what is it, week 1 or 2?
Week 2, day 9 in the Big Brother house.
There you go.
Really don't to answer this. It is early days, and at the moment everything is great. I just want him to be happy, and if he's happy with the outcome when he's finished his prep and he's competed, then I'll be happy as well, and I'll support him. I hope it goes quite quick.
It's quicker than last year, so it's a month
Yeah.
shorter than last year.
What's the length of prep?
Well, I say that, 16 weeks till the main show.
Yeah.
But then if I can tag a couple more on either before or just after, then I'll do it well in condition. But 16 weeks, 14 and a half weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, so I think I'll manage it better. I'm in a much better starting point. Last year, starting prep, I'd had a bad back end of the year before.
Yeah.
And I was having to, dig from day one. Like,
Mhm.
So this
I think it's because you jumped into that show early as well. So we done a show in Easter in April,
Mm,
Yeah.
and then he had to stay in that condition, if that's what you call it,
Yeah.
If that's what you
until
call it.
May the 15th. So
Yeah.
for that month, it was
Yeah, it was hard,
it was
wasn't
not a nice time.
Yeah.
So before that, I can't remember it being bad really.
Yeah.
So I think it was just because you were holding it off, and it was such.
I was in the trenches, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insulin deficit.
It's like
Yeah.
Hell Week times
And I
3 or
was-
4.
I was peeled from like week 12
Yeah.
of 20, like glutes and everything. So it was
Yeah.
like I had to try and hold it then, you know. It was, you know more than anyone about conditions, so
It's
no,
definitely harder to hold.
Mm,
Yeah.
just managing that then, and obviously I worked continuously up till 2 or 3 days out from
Yeah.
the show. I remember filming a music festival 5 or 6 days before the NABA,
Yeah.
which was like 25,000 step day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was on protein and fats, zero
Yeah.
carb. It was hell.
And I think when you see your husband or partner up on the stage, then you do kind of forget about prep a little bit because you're proud of them. They look fantastic, and it's like it's all singing and dancing, and it's great. And you think, well, today's going to end.
Yeah.
So that's great. I mean, I was so overwhelmed. I think it's because of the pressure leading up to his birthday and the NABA. I was so overwhelmed that when you won the overall on Mr. Wales, I stood up and I nearly passed out. Everything
Yeah.
just went black, and I had to
Wow.
sit back down. But I think it was just it
was
all got too
intense.
much.
Yeah.
Intense prep, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. That sense of relief and
Yeah.
emotion is just undescribable sometimes,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It is.
I could never imagine being interviewed on stage after like a big win and competition. I just like wouldn't be able to keep it together.
Yeah, it was a blubbering mess, and
Yeah.
you were probably the same when you got the pro card. I imagine, were you? Or
Yeah.
was
I
it-
rang Kate because I was in Italy by myself,
Yeah.
and Kate had not travelled, and I said to her on the phone, like I rang up and I was like, can't talk.
Yeah.
And she says, "What have you done then? When do you hear the results?" I was like,
Nothing good.
"I've won." She
Yeah.
goes, "Oh right, so is it over or later?" I was like, "No, I've won." And I was in tears. Yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Fucking madness. That was my that was my pro card win, you know,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
as it is like so.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think you'd ever top that, regardless of
No.
what you achieved this year. You know, you had all your family
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
friends there.
That's why
family
it's not
from
about show
afar.
wins.
Yeah.
It's literally about just beating myself from last year.
Yeah,
I'm not going to top last year, and I don't want to be because that show day was so special with everything
Yeah.
that went on and
yeah,
what that prep represented family wise.
yeah.
Then there's no show win that will ever come close to that.
No.
But on the back of what you've just asked Carla, with his new direction in life, or potential direction in life, what's your thoughts on that in comparison to what you've gone through for the last 11 years
Mm.
with bodybuilding and what maybe the next 11 years, like, is it daunting of what, stepping away and then what's going to happen, or is it?
I think with Jay, I think no matter what he does, it'll always be full on. And I think when you want to make a success at anything that you do, it takes sacrifice, and running your own business takes everything. If you want to be good at what you want to do, it takes time and it takes work. So I understand whatever it is that he decides to do. It takes hard work, but I think I go back to what Carla says. The only thing that you're ever bothered about is your partner being happy, and that's all I care about. I think I've supported Jamie in his journey because I see the joy that it brings to him, and whatever his next journey is and what he's focusing on right now, if that makes him happy, that's all that matters, because a happy Jay means a happy family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've seen a massive difference. Just we've spoke over Christmas and you're a bit stuck in limbo,
Yeah,
whereas we've had chats and stuff, and I know now there's a little bit more knowing what's going on and stuff. So there's definitely I've seen a little switch in you, like, so you seem
Yeah.
more settled. I think settled is the word.
I think no matter what Jamie does, I think I'll always be there to support him, because
Yeah.
if it makes him happy, I'll always be there whatever he decides to do. And it's the same with me. If
Yeah.
I say to Jay, I'm thinking about doing this, I want to do this, he's right there behind me,
yeah,
no matter what we decide to do.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? If I said to Jamie tomorrow, I wanted to quit bodybuilding, I've had enough.
yeah,
You're not doing it anymore. And he said, okay, Carl, I won't.
Mhm.
and then I see a change in him when he's miserable,
Yeah.
I'm going to be sat back thinking, I'm not
Yeah.
happy with this either.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It affects you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. I think we need goals and direction. That
Yeah.
might not always be in bodybuilding.
No.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
You know, everybody does. No matter what those goals are. You know,
You need goals in your relationship, don't
goals
you?
can
You know,
be anything.
Yeah.
whether that's a
Anything.
holiday or
What you work towards.
Yeah.
You know, what you get up out of bed every day for.
Mm.
Whether it's just loving your family every bloody day, whatever
Yeah.
it may be. You know.
definitely.
Or switching on the washing machine or something. That's a
Yeah.
big goal for
You know,
me.
we all
yeah.
need clean clothes.
Yeah, I'll
It's
give
a
you a
big goal
lesson
for me.
later.
Well, Harley brought a football with him last weekend. We didn't use it last weekend, but I think I'm gonna go and buy some football boots
For a kickabout.
for a kickabout. Yeah.
Because you can now, because you're fitter and you're
Yeah.
healthier, because
Which is
obviously
great.
that's fantastic for, you know, for the family as well to benefit from, because
Yeah.
he's been so unhealthy for so long and not being able to do
Yeah.
anything. So you're just a lot healthier, and
Yeah.
You
I
know.
feel a lot better.
you feel better and you look happier and you can see it. And why would I not support that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always been a worry for me is health, and on the expectation they put on these open bodybuilders, how big they
Yeah.
want them to get.
Yeah,
You know,
it's crazy.
it's crazy. And I did worry about your health.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're taking it more seriously now is it's only a positive.
It's only
thing for us.
positive, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Shall we call it a day?
Yeah, I think I had enough abuse for one day, Jay.
Well,
I think you did both. I think you did all
I
right.
think this is
Yeah, I think it was important to get across how good you are as well at being
Yeah.
husbands and dads and family men, rather
Yeah.
than just sat you know,
No.
slagging you off. It wasn't about that for me, and it probably wasn't about that for you
No,
either, Katie.
No.
And
It's
you
just
know.
about being real, you know.
Yeah.
Like if somebody tunes into this because they think, oh my god, it's going to be doom and gloom being with a bodybuilder, then maybe it isn't your relationship, because maybe that person don't treat you right, you know. But
Yeah.
in our relationship, we've gone through everything.
Yeah.
As to what's made us strong today.
Mm-hmm.
I always think, you know, me and Jamie have got one of the best relationships that I know of.
Yeah.
And I can genuinely say that because
Yeah.
we're best friends, we tell each other everything, we're husband and wife, we're mother and father, and you know, what more do you want from that? So
Yeah.
we've both got jobs, we're both happy and healthy, and I think it's all you can ask for.
Definitely.
You do know I'm on prep, don't you? Because I will start praying.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, but I love the fact that you can be emotional. I
you
love
wouldn't
that.
if
And
you were
I love
surrounded by
when
it.
he's on prep, I love when he's emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I
Lips
connect
are
with him so
go.
much better on prep. I do. Yeah.
What is it? It is emotional times, isn't it, when you're on prep? I don't know what it
It's
is.
madness, man. It's,
But,
first, it was overwhelming for me last year anyway, but
yeah.
crying on the Stairmaster and that, listening to the song lyrics.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can cry after
yeah.
a fantastic workout because it just releases so
Yeah.
much for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Right.
times.
Good times.
Thank
So
you.
thank you, ladies, for
Thank
joining
you
Well,
very
us.
much.
thanks for inviting us.
Thanks for putting up with us for however long that was. I think it was a touching 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hopefully we
Yeah.
can do part 2, like late summer, and there might be some other news, and I can let you know. How
Yeah,
prep
maybe,
went.
After
maybe.
prep,
Yeah.
maybe. See how did prep
Where
actually go?
Jamie is,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Tell you
where
what.
you are.
Could do a scoreboard, like a tally chart.
Yeah.
How many times Carla cried in 2021 or 22,
Yeah, I'll bring
and
it
then
with
we've
me.
got 23 as well.
Yeah.
You compare. Did we improve or not?
Well, let's just finish on this last question
Yeah.
Yeah.
before you end it. How do you feel about us as wives?
Oh, you go first on me.
I'll go first. Yeah, go on.
Go on then.
You know.
Set the tone.
We've got 8 minutes still. This resets and
You've got 4 minutes each.
it's 4 minutes each.
Oh,
No. I always say to Carla, like I say jokingly, but I absolutely mean it. I always call her my rock. Like she is my rock.
Yeah.
And every taken away from like me being on prep and all that, because that's just a minor thing to how long we've been together. Anything that I've done, I know like she's full support has been there from the DJ, and but not only that, she's there for the kids as well. So she's doing her own thing. She's like, we haven't really spoke about what you do like outside of what I do, like with work, and you know, seeing her progression in her job role and her career now. She's come home from work and they've said, you know, that they wanted to apply for this next role, and the people that are going for these jobs are people that have been to uni, got degrees and all that, but she's just worked her way up the ladder. So, you know, it's that ambition motivates me sometimes, because I'm thinking, well, she's stepping her shit up all the time. I need to stay on top of my shit. You know, not bodybuilding, but just career-wise and work-wise. So, yeah, she motivates me to do my stuff. And, obviously, coming up to present day, though, she is my rock, like, especially in prep. And I know, like, last year there was those times, but you never showed me at the time. Obviously, after prep, you told me, because we've been down the route where you kind of showed me, and then it was tits up because I stressed out too much.
When I ruined it the year before.
2 years
Don't
before.
talk about feelings in prep.
Yeah, so she's there's a reason why we've been together for 19 years.
Yeah.
There's a reason. And,
Sure.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Now to you, mate.
It's my turn. So I would just say, like, we touched on it in the podcast, but the support system for any bodybuilding relationship is the key to longevity and it's surviving. If you don't got the support from the people around you, it just won't survive. It's destined for disaster. And we've heard many a relationship fail and crumble on a prep, or just in the general bodybuilding situation. So Kate's always been like my biggest fan, said that earlier, biggest support system, and I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for her. And I said to her last night, everything I do, like we do, everything we own, it's for us. Everything we do and plan, it's for us. And I think sometimes Katie feels as though, I don't know, it's like you're not pulling weight kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like I have to be on the same level.
Sometimes it's like a financial thing, even though you work incredibly hard, you've got your own business and you do amazing. I've developed a lifestyle which has paid us quite nicely back. But I just say, look, without you, wouldn't be here. So it's a collective income. It's a collective system that we have, and our future is built because of the help of you with what I do. And that's just another reason I love you so much. She is a sarcastic, dry individual sometimes, but again, love you for that. So, no, without crying, I'm going to stop it there. You're amazing. Love you. Thank you very much for being my wife. And,
Thank you very much.
I'm sure we've got plenty more happy years to come and new challenges, and I look forward to it.
You had to drop the album. I didn't say the album.
Well, you know,
it's
probably.
Yeah.
Might cut all this shit out.
Yeah. If Cuba watches it to the end, he'll be like, turn it off.
Cuba's not
Turn it off.
Cuba's not watching this till the end.
No.
Right. On that note, then, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, the audio has been manageable. These guys have been fine, but I've been on my quiet mic here. And also, we didn't say it at the beginning, but we have announced that Chosen Few are now the
Cappage
official sponsors of the Beautiful Struggle podcast. So we're going to be doing a lot more with them. You've probably seen like some of the logos appearing up on screen and on the Instagrams and everything. So we look forward to more episodes with Chosen Few on the team. And we will be back in here in 48 hours.
A couple of days, yeah.
For another one. But thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, share.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it now.
Now.
Peace.
Thank you.